Let's talk about negotiation, but I want you to forget the whole idea of it being a battlefield. Today, we're going to treat negotiation like a construction project. We're not combatants, we're architects. We are architects of agreements. And this is your blueprint.
So let me ask you, ever dread a big negotiation? Come on, be honest. Does that question make your stomach do a little flip? We all know that feeling, right? That high-stakes conversation looming, maybe for a new job, a big project, heck, even just buying a car. That anxiety is real, and it is super common.
But what if we could just completely reframe that feeling? What if we stop seeing it as a battle, this whole confrontational win or lose thing, and instead we start seeing it as a blueprint, as a collaborative project that we can actually design and build together?
So how do we actually build this thing? Well, it all comes down to a clear 4-step blueprint. First, we're going to survey the context. Then, we'll design the outcome. After that, we draft the game plan, and finally, we prepare the strategy. So come on, let's start by laying the foundation.
Okay, our journey starts with step 1, surveying the context. This is all about laying the foundation for success. And just like any good architect, you absolutely have to know the land you're building on before you can even think about drawing up plans.
Knowing your terrain in the negotiation just means doing your homework. It's about finding all the relevant facts and figures, market rates, past precedents, what the other party might need or what their constraints are. But here's the real key insight. You're not just gathering data. You're trying to understand the story they are telling themselves. What do they believe is fair and why? Getting that is your true foundation.
And when we say context, we're talking about the entire environment of the negotiation. Yep, it's the hard data for sure, but it's also the history between you and the other party, and the kind of relationship you have. A weak foundation here can cause the whole structure to just crumble later on.
So, with the terrain all surveyed, we can move right on to step 2, designing the outcome. This is where you get a clear vision of the exact structure you intend to create. It's all about knowing what you're building.
I mean, think about it. You would never build a house without a design, right? So why on earth would you walk into a negotiation without defining your ideal results and solutions? Showing up without a clear goal is like asking a construction crew to just start building. It's pure chaos. You must define exactly what a successful outcome looks like for you before the conversation even starts.
So, what does success actually look like? Well, it's a lot more than just a single number. You need to define your ideal result, the absolute dream scenario. Then, map out a few other acceptable solutions. And this part is crucial. You have to identify your non-negotiables, your firm walkaway point. And remember, ending with a stronger relationship isn't just a nice little bonus, it's a real asset that can pay off big time, long after this one deal is done.
Okay, foundation laid, design complete. Now it's time for step 3, drafting your game plan. This is where you prepare a good script to guide the whole process.
Now, when I say script, I don't mean you're memorizing lines word for word. Not at all. Think of it more like a flexible framework. It's about structuring the conversation to build toward your goal. The real pro move here isn't just scripting your points, but anticipating their reactions and planning your follow-up. It's about thinking 2 moves ahead. Your script should have a few key things. You definitely need a strong opening statement to set the tone. You need to list out the key points you absolutely have to make. You must be crystal clear in your own head on your firm walkaway point. And, really important, you should plan some potential concessions, what you're willing to trade to help build that final agreement.
And that brings us to the final stage of our prep work. Step 4, preparing your strategy. With your blueprint and script ready to go, it's time to assemble your toolkit.
See, everything you've done so far feeds directly into this step. The context you gathered, the outcome you designed, the script you drafted, all of it informs your high-level strategy and the specific tactics you're going to use in the moment. Now, people tend to use strategy and tactics interchangeably, so let's get specific. Your strategy is the big picture, your overall plan to get what you want. It's the what and the why. Your tactics, on the other hand, are the specific moves you make in the moment to execute that strategy. That's the how. So a tactic could be anchoring, making the first offer to frame the whole discussion. Just remember, strategy is the why, and tactics are the how.
So the most crucial point is this. When you follow this 4-step blueprint, the whole nature of negotiation changes. It stops being an unpredictable battle that gives you anxiety. Instead, it becomes a structured, manageable, and honestly, a constructive process.
And here's the most powerful takeaway of all. This level of preparation completely elevates your role. You're no longer just a reactive participant hoping for a good outcome. You are the proactive architect, intentionally designing and building it from the ground up.
So as we wrap up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Because we all know your next negotiation is right around the corner, whether it's big or small. The only question left is, what are you going to build?